Hey guys, this is Miss Morgan, and I wanted to talk you through some of the things that are discussed in Chapter 18. The first thing you'll notice when you read through Chapter 18 is that a manufacturing company actually has three buildings, if you will, and I've tried to draw the rectangles here to symbolize the buildings, but three buildings which will house three separate inventory accounts. You'll have your warehouse, and that's going to house your raw materials. Then you'll have your factory, and that's where you're going to have your work in process inventory, which is all the inventory that is not complete. You're still working on that. And then I've labeled the last building the storage room. It could be your finished goods storage building, but whatever you want to call it, that's where your goods that are actually complete, you're ready to sell those, but you're going to hold those inventory items in a different storage facility until they leave the building when they were sold, and then they will become cost of goods sold. So what I've done is I've created some T accounts here, and I want you to see that the beginning raw materials inventory for this year is $10,000. And then we're going to assume that we purchased $40,000 more materials. You know that you've always got to have materials on hand, so when the factory needs more materials, you can transfer materials from the warehouse to the factory. And so right now what we're looking at is a materials T account. You started out with $10,000, you purchased $40,000 more, which would leave you with $50,000. Then I'm going to give you this information. Materials transferred out to the factory are $45,000 worth of materials. So I'm going to type that in, and you'll see that the ending balance of materials would be $5,000. And so when you transfer out materials from the warehouse, then you would actually debit work in process for that amount, $45,000 for those direct materials, and you would credit your materials account. Then we're going to look at the items in the factory. There's a beginning balance here of $15,000. That means that at the end of the month or at the end of the year, there was work in process. There were products in the factory that were not 100% complete. So that is not unusual. So you have a beginning balance of work in process. You've added direct material. And then we're going to be given that direct labor is $65,000. Factory overhead is also given of $85,000. These are all the costs that are going into the factory at this time, which that would make the total cost of the work in process $210,000. But we're going to assume that $190,000 worth of products were actually completed this month. This is called cost of goods manufactured for the month. And those completed items will be transferred over to the finished goods account because you're changing buildings. You're taking those finished goods out of the factory and putting them in the storage room because you're ready to sell those. Now we'll assume that at the beginning of the month we had $30,000 worth of items already in the storage room. Now we're going to transfer $190,000 worth of items to the finished goods storage room. If at the end of the year we have $5,000 left, then we can calculate that we actually sold $215,000. So those units would become cost of goods sold. So with these beginning inventories and ending inventories given to us, then we can figure out how many items were transferred over to the next building. And then, of course, they gave us direct labor and factory overhead for us to figure out that $190,000 worth were actually manufactured this month. That is the cost of goods manufactured this month. And then you would take your finished goods beginning inventory plus what we created this month minus our ending inventory would give us cost of goods sold. So I hope that this illustration will let you see the flow through from the T accounts. The journal entries will not be that hard once you understand that you're just transferring from one building to another, from one T account to another. Even when the products are sold, you would just transfer from an inventory finished goods to a cost of goods sold account. So hopefully this will help you understand the cost flow process of a manufacturing business.